So I'm starting to work. So I'm starting to work with this Masonite board here that I showed you. And when I paint on Masonite, I normally lay down a coat first of an acrylic paint. I use a cheap acrylic paint from Walmart, and I generally use cobalt blue a lot because I just love cobalt blue. And it's probably going to be completely covered. You may not even see some of this blue, but you might. But I picked this board with these imperfections, which normally I would either try to cover over or not even use this, try to cut around, cut some boards different so that these don't show. Did that make any sense? I'm just talking in circles. But for the story in my head for this painting, I think those are good. I think they're going to add to the story, a happy accident maybe, or not unhappy. I don't know, or absolutely what it should be. As you know, I'm a self-taught artist and I make it up as I go along. And this is really just sharing my process with you. So what I'm going to do is just start by squeezing some of this cobalt blue paint on this board, wetting my brush a little bit and spreading it around to coat my board. But I'm going to leave those imperfections, and I think I'm going to just try to work them into the painting that's in my head. I'm standing up because it's just... See if I can do this so you get a better view of... This is so professional, really. You see, I am my really cool camera crew. Just kind of leaving those because they kind of seem like a void or something. And that's important for the painting that I want to do. Sometimes the paintings I want to do are informed by a story that's already in my head or an experience that I've had. Sometimes they are informed by a material, like I'll come across a medium or something and want to use it. And then that will decide what I do. In this case, the painting that I'm working on now is a mixture of both. I care for an elder who has dementia, and she's losing her past. It's just being eaten up. And, I think about that daily. And sometimes really important things that are so essential to who we are, to who she is, they're gone. They've just slipped away, gone into the void. And as I was thinking about that, I came across a medium of paint that was really interesting. It was called The Blackest Black. And the person who makes it, Simon Simple, I think. I'll tag that in here. I'll let you know who it is. He says it's like almost like painting a hole, like a black hole into whatever you're using, or it can look like that. And that idea came together with my mother's experience of her memories slipping into a black hole, or a black hole expanding, the black hole that's expanding into the memories of her past, into her identity. And I wanted to use that paint, so I ordered it. And now it seems like it's going to sort of come together here. I don't know if it will or not. Like I said, right now I got a general idea of what I want to do here. And what I generally do before I even know what else is going to happen is I go ahead and put a coat on the board, because I don't have to know much to do this. This is the easy thing to do. And that gives me time to keep thinking and sort of composing in my head. There is a painting in the hallway of my house, and I'll share the picture of that painting with you. It's a painting I did when I first started my collard green series, and I recognized that it was a series, and I was exploring my own personal heritage with it. And I did a picture of my parents' wedding, They were 20 and 23 years old, very young and beautiful. And I did a picture of them together, but I changed her bouquet to a bouquet of collards, and I changed my dad's boutonniere. And it was such a healing kind of painting to do, because as I painted it, I became aware of how very young they had been, recognized how they had done the very best they could, those two kids. I mean, at the time that I painted that painting, my own children were older than the man and woman in that painting. And it gave me this sort of little sense of understanding and love for them, because art can do that. So now, but my mother, when she sees that painting now, she comes out in the hall and she might recognize herself, but she's like, "Who's that I'm with?" And I'll say, "Oh, that was your first husband." "Really? Really?" And so I'm kind of addressing that in this piece, I think. Okay, first coat of just a basic acrylic paint. I don't even know why by this shit can't see me. So I'll come back when this is dry and later when I have a little more time. And then we'll see what happens on this piece of masonite.